Hello, and welcome to another edition of Chris Peplinsky's Movie Block. The other movie that I figured I'd be discussing tonight is the movie The Commuter with Liam Neeson, which it seems to be yet another, you know, you know, typical generic action adventure story, which of course I guess after the success of the Taken series, he seems to be labeled as an action star, and of course instead of having the action on an airplane like in the movie Non-Stop, this time around takes place in a commuter train. And basically Liam Neeson plays the character of Michael, who was a former detective who became an insurance broker, who's facing financial difficulties, between you know trying to get his son Danny through college, and of course financial issues with the home and other problems that people tend to go through. So one day in a train, he happens to meet a woman named Joanna, who's played by Vera Farmiga, who I would say doesn't really have a lot of on-screen time in the movie, but she does play a rather important role in the villain, I guess, as the villainess of the story, in which she approaches Michael one day on his, commute from work after getting laid off after 10 years of working, and offers him to do a little favor for her if he could identify some passenger that I guess she's looking for, and I guess if he places some, ID tag or tracking device on who this person, codenamed Prin, that he would get $100,000 for his trouble, which I guess I know many people who would be having financial difficulties you know, would I guess be tempted to take that kind of offer to help them out with their money problems. And of course, Michael is being drawn into some conspiracy and trying to find out who amongst the passengers on his commute that doesn't belong, which leads to an interesting, set of events, in which he tries to find the person before it's too late. Um, what can I say about the movie that might get people's attention? Well, it may seem like I guess somewhat similar to Liam Neeson's other previous, action movies, but I would say surprisingly the commuter is not as bad as I thought it would be, even though I would say it's kind of like more of the same, well, nothing, new to it, since, Liam Neeson, tends to play, a good job just about anything he does, whether it's playing, Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and, Phantom Menace, which I know gets a bad rap as being the campy installment of the Star Wars, prequel trilogy, but in that particular case, I would say he was one of the shining stars of that movie, and of course, Ewan McGregor playing the young Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I digress. And I would say, I mean, I would say it's the commuter scene, worth seeing a few times just to get some good action scenes and I guess popcorn adventure, uh, if that's what I would call it. But if it's like something I would really want to own and watch over and over again, quite honestly, not really, since I feel like nothing in my personal opinion can replicate the success of Taken, particularly the first installment, which happens to remain the best out of the three. But that's just my personal opinion. So I guess for those that may or may have not seen it, they can decide for themselves. And like I would always say, feel free to share your, thoughts and opinions after watching the video. And I would just say thank you again for watching, and have a pleasant evening.